Hello, this is Dr. Grande. Today's question is, can I analyze the interview with Meghan Markle published in The Cut magazine? This August 2022 article was titled Meghan of Montecito. Just a reminder, I'm not diagnosing anybody in this video, only speculating about what could be happening in a situation like this. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe to my channel, and consider supporting me on Patreon. I will put a link to Patreon in the description for this video. I covered Meghan's background in a recent video about her first podcast episode, so in this video I will move right to a summary of the article, then offer my analysis. The interview of Meghan Markle occurred at the mansion she shares with Prince Harry in Montecito, California. This is about 2 hours northwest of Los Angeles. As I summarize the interview, it's important to remember that much of this is paraphrased. Meghan talked about how 2 palm trees in her yard are like her and her husband Harry. Both the trees and the couple are connected at the bottom, whatever that means. I know what it means for trees, but I'm not sure what it means for people. Either way, the couple fell in love with the mansion in Montecito. They paid $14.65 million for it. Just to put that in perspective, assuming the couple had a down payment of $3 million, which is more than the average person in the United States earns in a lifetime, their mortgage payment would be about $80,000 a month. Now, of course, they may have just paid cash for the house. I find it interesting that this was the same couple who was complaining about not having security paid for by the British government, yet they can afford this mansion. Meghan then talked about her job as a role model. Little girls look up to her, believing that she is a real-life princess. She wants to send a message that they have the power within them to create a life greater than any fairy tale they have ever read. Harry jumped into the conversation and talked about how people criticize him and his wife. He said if you do something, they criticize you. If you don't do anything, they criticize you anyway. The article then talked about how the couple has a deal with Netflix to create content. Netflix is nervous about what project the couple is going to produce. To be fair, I think it is the viewers who should be nervous. Who knows what terrible ideas the couple will unleash on the unsuspecting public. Meghan hinted at one possible topic when she said that people haven't been able to see our love story. I'm surprised the royal couple would be interested in making a mystery movie, but I suppose they do have diverse interests. The couple has denied rumors that they were looking at a reality show, so that appears to be off the table. I was thinking that they should reconsider. Maybe they should produce a parody of the show Survivor, featuring members of royalty who are frustrated because they want more power. When they can't get it, they leave the island. Come to think of it, they already played that game and lost. I guess it's true that the best ideas for television have already been taken. Meghan explained how she is trying to teach her son manners. She told him that manners make the man. One of the lessons she taught him is that salt and pepper shakers are always passed together. Just like her story about the trees, Meghan believes this is a metaphor relevant to her marriage, like she and Harry are always passed around together. That doesn't sound too good. She really needs to think these metaphors through before saying them. Meghan revealed that Harry is staying busy playing polo and having lunch and dinner at various homes of close friends. I guess this was to make him relatable to regular people. She then started talking about how she and Harry went to London in June of 2022 to attend the Platinum Jubilee for Queen Elizabeth II. They went to Frogmore Cottage, a residence which is part of the Crown Estate. Meghan and Harry lived there when they were active members of the royal family. The couple stopped by to pick up some of their belongings. Meghan indicated the cottage is still theirs and has not really been touched since they left. When she was going through various drawers, she had nostalgia for the short time when she was there. It was bittersweet, and none of it had to be that way. Meghan reflected on how when she was an actress, her job was to follow instructions. People would tell her what to say, where to stand, and what to wear. So she's saying that she's capable of following instructions. She implied that she was still treated poorly despite this. Meghan concluded that her difficulty with the royal family was not necessarily because she was black, but because she is an American. She has a tendency to ask questions. Meghan then talked about the tabloids in Britain. She felt as though they had free rein to attack her and Harry because the couple was using taxpayer money. Meghan's very existence was offensive to the sensibilities of the royal family. She wanted to move somewhere else, like Canada or New Zealand, but the royal family wasn't having it. Other royal family members were allowed to do what she wanted, therefore this didn't make sense to her. In reality, active members of the royal family are not allowed to make their own money. It's not clear what led Meghan to believe this. Meghan told a story about how she was in London watching a theater production of The Lion King when a South African cast member told her that when she married into the royal family, they rejoiced in the streets just like they did when Nelson Mandela was freed from prison. Many people in South Africa, including Nelson Mandela's grandson, disagree with this characterization. Once again, changing topics, Meghan said that she was happy that her son doesn't have to go to school in Britain because if he was there, dozens of people would take pictures of him. She thinks of herself as a strong and good parent who is protecting her child. The article ends with this peculiar monologue by Meghan about forgiving the royal family, which of course assumes the royal family members are the ones in need of forgiveness. Meghan said that it takes a lot more energy not to forgive, but takes a lot of effort to forgive, which is interesting because the way she's using the words energy and effort, they really mean the same thing. It sounds like Meghan is talking in circles. Either way, Meghan goes on to say that she's made an active effort. She concludes by saying sometimes the silent part is still part of the song. Now moving to my analysis. Here are my thoughts on a few areas that stood out to me in this case. Item number 1. Meghan keeps hinting about how she has more exciting information to reveal, like perhaps more accusations against the royal family. Yet this article contained over 6,400 words and didn't really say much of anything. I don't think it's so much that the article was badly written, although the pronoun references could have been cleaned up a little. I think it was because Meghan doesn't really have anything interesting to say. This is also the theme of her podcast, so maybe it's just part of her brand. Item number 2, Meghan's reference to people in South Africa dancing in the streets offers insight into her beliefs about her greatness. She said a cast member told her the story, which may or may not be true, but either way she connects with that narrative. Meghan still has dreams of being celebrated around the world as a hero to all people. Crowds will be amazed at the fact that she figured out how to marry somebody, which is something that never would have occurred to them on their own. Based on Meghan's first podcast episode, people in South Africa are too busy putting out heater fires to have thought of something like that. Meghan truly doesn't understand how people actually view her. Item number 3. Meghan is continuing to build on this narrative where she was the victim of discrimination by the imperious, antiquated, and conceited royal family. At first, the discrimination was based on racism. Now, apparently, it's based on her level of ambition, her American nationality, and her very existence. I find it curious that she never mentions her personality. Meghan keeps trying to find an audience for her victim message, but keeps coming up empty. Item number 4. Could Meghan have actually been a victim? Some people look at Meghan's claims and say the royal family could be guilty in this situation. It is certainly possible that Meghan experienced discrimination based on race or for some other reason. Perhaps she's right. Maybe her status as an American caused tension. The royal family could have done something insensitive or inappropriate to Meghan. Alternatively, they may have been responding to her sense of entitlement and arrogant attitude. Perhaps both Meghan and members of the royal family were victims, like they were both unkind. Throughout life, everyone will be offended from time to time. It's not ideal, but it's important to be able to address the issue and move on with life. Meghan's ongoing parade of complaints against the royal family is not compatible with a normal or healthy response. It actually seems like what she's doing now is trying to provoke them to commit more offenses. For example, she's promising to reveal more embarrassing details. It appears as though she wants the royal family to attack again. Otherwise, she is in danger of losing her victim status. Assuming the royal family was insensitive, assuming they did something wrong, what should the penalty be? What does Meghan want? What does justice look like for her? Meghan doesn't appear to be willing to move on with her life. There is this sense that the royal family could offer her the position of queen, and she would still say, "But what about the time when I was a victim? What are we going to do about that?" I think one of the many reasons that the royal family does not respond to Meghan's claims is because Meghan is doing a good job of destroying her credibility and exposing her true intent. This is the same reason a police officer never interrupts a confession. The more Meghan talks, the better the royal family looks. Item number 5. The mansion purchased by Meghan and Harry represents an interesting metaphor in this case. I think the mansion represents something a little bit different for each one of them, despite their alliance and shared goals. For Meghan, the mansion represents a prison of her grandiosity, vindictiveness, oversensitivity, and sense of entitlement. One could argue that, by her own design, Meghan is serving concurrent sentences for each of those characteristics. The sentence for entitlement is a life term. For Harry, the mansion represents a prison of his own gullibility, aimlessness, and astoundingly high self-confidence. The good news for Meghan and Harry is that insight is the key to the prison they have constructed. The bad news is they don't have any insight. Now moving to my final thoughts. With this article in The Cut, Meghan continues to offend and alienate people all over the world. The reality is that Meghan could not handle being a member of the royal family. She and her husband decided to leave. This was their right, but decisions come with consequences. Despite Meghan's unpopularity, she has the attention of many people. She is permanently famous, or perhaps permanently notorious, but either way, she's in a position to torment audiences everywhere with an endless stream of victim-themed media products. Meghan's bad experiences with the royal family are used as a catalyst to spread negativity to the world. Her viewers are the real victims. Those are my thoughts on the article in the Cut magazine about Meghan Markle. Please put any opinions and thoughts in the comment section. They always generate an interesting dialogue. As always, I hope you found my analysis of this topic to be as intriguing as connected palm trees that can't quite figure out their message. Thanks for watching.